Welcome to this deep dive. You've shared some really interesting material from the Wisdom Path, focusing on worry and, well, how to be more present. Seems like something everyone deals with, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've all got caught in those loops, haven't we? Replaying worries, jumping to what ifs. So our goal here is to really dig into the wisdom path and pull out some, practical things you can actually use.
To quiet the noise and just be here.
Exactly. Connect more with the now.
So let's jump in. First, big idea from the source. Worry is often just pointless.
Yeah.
It mentions losing sleep over stuff that never happens. So true.
It really is. Your mind just runs wild inventing these scenarios. And what's fascinating is how the brain can react like it's a real threat.
Even when nothing's actually happening.
Right. Like that image they use someone on a perfectly safe rope bridge, but their fear makes it feel dangerous. That's worry, mentally speaking.
Yeah, like a false alarm going off in your head. And they bring in Dale Carnegie, saying worry doesn't fix the past or predict the future. It just messes up today.
Spot on. And that takes us straight to the first core lesson. Worry doesn't work. Focus on what you can control. Such a game changer.
Because we waste so much energy on things we just can't change.
Exactly. Like your boss's mood or traffic or, bigger world events. It's like trying to, push the tide back. Pointless.
Right, just spinning your wheels. And the Wisdom Path says focus on thoughts, actions, reactions. That's where the power is.
And I really like that practical tip they give. Actually write down your worries.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and then sort them. Controllable, uncontrollable. It forces clarity. You see what needs action and what's just noise.
Into the noise.
Well, they use that balloon analogy. Just visualize letting those uncontrollable worries float away. It's a simple image, but it can help.
Okay, so worry often doesn't work. Then the source shifts to being present. Lesson 2. Live in day-tight compartments. Carnegie's idea again?
Yes, picturing life like a ship. Each day is its own sealed room.
I like that. It really pushes you to focus just on today, doesn't it? Not getting dragged down by yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's anxieties.
Absolutely, because, today is all you really have access to right now. It's about putting your energy here, not letting the then or maybe drain it.
Like the candle analogy they use, only giving light right where it is in the present.
Precisely. The past is gone, the future isn't here yet, and those daily affirmations they suggest.
Like, today is my whole life, I will live it well.
Yeah, and today I lived. That is enough. Simple stuff maybe, but saying them can really anchor you. Helps you accept the day as it is.
Okay, next up, lesson 3. Face the worst, then build from there.
Yeah.
This feels a bit counterintuitive, asking, what's the worst that can happen?
Well, it's interesting because worry often feels vague, right? Like a big, scary cloud. But forcing yourself to define the actual worst-case scenario. Often it's, not as bad as the cloud felt. Or even if it is bad, naming it lets you start thinking, planning.
Takes the fear out of that formless dread.
Exactly. It makes it something you can look at, address. Like the example of the woman worried about losing her job.
Right, the worry just paralyzed her.
Until she actually mapped it out. What would happen? What could she do? And suddenly she realized she could cope. She had options.
So it wasn't about giving up, it was about getting control back.
Precisely. Taking away the power of the unknown. And that bonus tip fits right in. Worry grows in the dark, speak it out.
Yeah. Just saying it out loud to a friend or even just writing it down.
Or just talking to yourself. It's like, shining a light on mold. It tends to shrink it, makes the fear less overwhelming.
Right. And they mentioned Tony Robbins' gratitude, pushing out fear.
Yeah, focusing on what you do have makes it harder for worry to dominate your thoughts. It's a direct shift in focus emotionally.
Okay, this leads nicely into lesson 4. Action destroys anxiety. I really connect with this one. Just doing something.
The action cure. It's so important because worry loves inactivity, doesn't it? That space where you just sit and stew.
It just spirals.
It really can, like a small spark turning into a big fire if you just watch it.
And that story about Jacob, the guy who lost his job,
Yeah.
fixing his sink.
Yeah, such a small thing, right? That's some huge life change. But it was action. It created momentum, a sense of I can do something. It fights that helpless feeling.
That feeling worry feeds on.
Exactly. Any step forward, however small, tells your brain you're not just stuck. Which brings us to lesson 5. Decide, even if it's not perfect.
Oh, indecision. That's definitely a worry amplifier, isn't it? Going round and round, weighing every single option.
Totally. You end up more stressed than when you started. And Carnegie's quote is perfect here. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage.
So make a decision, even if it's not the mythical perfect one.
Right. They suggest that three-step approach.
Yeah.
Get the facts, list the options, make the best choice you can now, and then, importantly, commit to it. Move.
Like the airplane analogy they use. The pilot makes adjustments during the flight.
Exactly. The main thing is getting off the ground. You don't need the whole flight plan perfect from the start. Just start. You can adjust later.
That initial movement builds confidence, gives you more data. Okay. Then lesson 6, stay busy the healthy way. Important clarification there, right?
Yeah.
Not just any busy.
Right. Not frantic, stressed out busy. It means purposeful activity. Things that engage your mind positively.
The garden analogy works well here. If you're busy planting good stuff.
There's less room for the weeds of worry to grow.
Exactly. And that idea of a worry-killing list.
Oh, that's brilliant. Having a go-to list of small, productive things you can do when worry starts creeping in. Like calling a friend, tidying a drawer, listening to something inspiring.
Simple things that shift your focus. Got it. Now, lesson 7, let go of resentment. This feels deeper, heavier maybe.
It can be. Holding on to grudges, anger, it's incredibly draining. That metaphor they use is stark. Drinking poison and hoping the other person gets hurt.
Yeah, that really hits home. It only harms yourself.
And Carnegie's point is key. Forgiveness is for your peace. It's not about letting the other person off the hook necessarily or waiting for them to change. It's about freeing yourself.
Like Lisa's story, finally feeling that weight lift after letting go of resentment towards her sister.
It shows how heavy that burden can be. And the challenge they pose, just mentally choosing to release resentment towards someone, that's a powerful first step.
Even if it feels hard.
Especially if it feels hard. It's about starting the process. And that ties into the mini reflection too about the mind being a garden. Brian Tracy's quote.
You become what you think about most of the time. So choose carefully what you're planting.
Precisely. Let go of the toxic stuff. Okay, final stretch of lessons. Lesson 8. Gratitude shifts everything.
It's so easy to focus on what's missing, isn't it? We just overlook the good stuff we already have.
It's almost like a default setting sometimes. But Carnegie's question, would you trade your sight or your ability to walk for millions? It forces you to see the value in what you possess.
Things we take for granted every day.
Exactly. And that little anecdote about the old man in the park, reflecting on what he wanted at different ages, it's a nudge to appreciate now.
So the practice is simple. Just write down 3 things you're grateful for each morning.
Yeah, even tiny things. Your coffee, sunshine, whatever. It trains your brain, like you said, to look for the positive. Actively.
And Dr. Joe Dispenza's quote.
Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. It opens you up, makes you receptive to more good. Okay then, lesson 9. Get enough sleep. Your peace depends on it.
Ah, sleep. So basic, yet so easily sacrificed.
And so critical for managing worry. Being tired just lowers your threshold, doesn't it? Small things feel huge.
Like a tired toddler having a meltdown over nothing. We do that too, just adult versions.
Pretty much. And those tips are solid. A proper bedtime routine, no screens right before bed.
The worry journal to dump thoughts before trying to sleep.
Yeah, and getting some sunlight early in the day. All good science-backed stuff to improve sleep, which directly helps with managing anxiety. Finally, lesson 10. Turn your inner voice into your best friend.
This one feels huge. That inner critic can be relentless.
It really can shape your whole reality, can't it? If it's constantly negative.
You start to believe it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the idea is to treat yourself like you'd treat a friend, with kindness, with encouragement.
And that 3-step process. Catch, challenge, change.
Classic cognitive behavioral technique, really. First, notice the negative thought. Then, question it, is it really true? And finally, consciously replace it with something more balanced, more supportive.
Like changing, I'm such a failure to 2. What was it?
I made a mistake, but I'm learning from it, something like that. Realistic, but also kind. The goal is to make that inner voice work for you, not against you, like a coach.
A supportive coach, not a harsh critic. Makes sense.
And that final little story they share about the wise old man and the sun,
Rise, give your light, let go.
it just wraps it all up so nicely, doesn't it? You don't have to control everything. Just live today well, with courage, gratitude, and enough sleep.
It's a good summary of the whole approach. Live one good day at a time. And I like how the Wisdom Path lists all 10 lessons at the end. Very clear takeaways.
Yeah, it provides a really practical toolkit, doesn't it? Tangible things you can actually try, starting today, to ease worry and feel more present.
Well, thank you. This has been a really useful deep dive into these ideas from the Wisdom Path. Lots of practical stuff there for managing worry and, living a bit more peacefully.
My pleasure. It's definitely a journey, not a destination, but these are good signposts.
So for you listening, here's something to think about. Maybe the real goal isn't to somehow magically eliminate all worry, is that even possible? But maybe it's more about understanding it, seeing it for what it is, and then consciously deciding where you put your focus, your energy. Which of these lessons really struck a chord with you? Maybe think about one small thing, just one, you can try today to bring that idea into your life.